From 2006 to the present day, there have been over 85 deaths attributed to the Manchester canals. Some believe that most, if not all of these deaths have been accidental or even suicides, but some have another theory, one far darker than a simple slip and fall into the murky waters of Manchester's canals. In order to get a good grasp on the idea that a serial killer could be lurking in Manchester for the better part of 2 decades, we have to rewind a bit. So let's go back to 2015. On January 11th, the Daily Star Sunday published a 2-page article titled "Manchester's Killer Canals." This article cited 61 deaths since 2006 in the canalway, which stretches for about 10 miles through central Manchester. And in the years since the article, that number has climbed to at least 85. The paper labeled the mysterious pusher as a serial slayer, while pointing out that it's extremely unlikely such an alarming number of bodies is the result of accidents or suicides. Admittedly, this seems like a valid point. A little math will bring you to a rough number of about 5 to 6 deaths per year on average. This might sound like a reasonable number at face value, but keep in mind this averages out to 1 person every 2 months. And this is along a 10-mile stretch of canals within Manchester. It certainly begs the question, could a serial pusher be responsible? So let's travel back a bit farther, to 2011, when the body of a trainee sports teacher, Nathan Tomlinson, was discovered in the River Irwell, 2 months after he went missing following a Christmas night out. And this death in particular leaves us with more questions than answers. According to Nathan's mom, he had texted her regularly throughout his evening, saying he had been pacing himself on drinks, and when his body was found, his coat, wallet, phone, and passport were all missing, leading his mom to believe that there had been foul play and that his death was not an accident. A coroner was unable to come to a conclusion on whether his death was accidental or a homicide, leaving his case as an open verdict. A year on from that incident, 21-year-old student David Plunkett was found dead in Manchester Ship Canal in 2012 after attending a music event in Trafford Park. A coroner ruled his death as an accident, though his parents protested otherwise, saying that they had heard screaming and howling in their last phone call with him. Could these have been the sounds of other concert goers simply excited to be attending, or possibly something more sinister? Apparently, it was enough to strike his parents as concerning. Authorities insisted that they had no evidence of foul play, and a pathologist said that there was absolutely nothing to indicate that David had been assaulted, and that the most likely cause of death was drowning. An important fact to take into consideration, though, is that especially in icy waters, the shock of sudden submersion can cause a reflex action in the lungs where the person instinctively gasps, drawing in a large breath of air, or water. This can easily result in a drowning, especially if the person is caught unawares. While any evidence of this so-called murderer is yet to be unearthed, and the countless deaths remain either unaccounted for or labeled as tragic accidents or suicides, there is one man who claims to have escaped with his life from one of the infamous canal attacks. Now we'll fast forward to 2018. And while speaking to a BBC reporter, a man who chose to remain anonymous and used the alias Tom recalled the moment a mysterious man swung at him as he was cycling home along the Bridgewater Canal one evening. He fell into the icy waters of the canal as a result of the push, and when he tried to pull himself out, the man allegedly kicked his hand away. Tom recalled, "I started to think, this is quite serious. It's pitch black down there. There's no lights. You look up, someone catches your eye, and then in 4 seconds, you're in dirty water." Eventually, Tom was able to haul himself out of the water. However, following the assault, the city's police and coroner continued to deny that there was any evidence of a serial attacker, Greater Manchester Police said the speculation surrounding the deaths has been made without examination of all the facts and evidence. The force said it would reinvestigate if new, credible evidence comes to light. To this day, the police have continued to insist that the canal pusher doesn't exist. Whether the canal pusher is real or a myth is up for debate, but it might be a good idea to keep an eye open for him, just in case. Stay safe out there.